Hello, this is David Taylor Klaus, and this is Mindset Mondays with DTK. It's episode 23. So, good morning to those on the west coast of the US, and good afternoon to the folks in GMT in the UK. So, as a refresher, why are we here? So, Mindset Mondays is a year-long project providing weekly Facebook Live broadcasts designed to help those folk with a growth mindset or those who want to create one to play with new ideas, new concepts, and new mindsets. So this is where it gets exciting. So this is a fun quote. I'm going to bring this one up. The idea that the most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. This is Voltaire. So 250 years ago, we got this little truth bomb from Voltaire. And what I like about it is one specific word, and I think it's the most important element of it. It's decision, not the most important choice you make, but the most important decision you make. So yes, this was originally written in French, and we're going to go to Latin for just a moment, all in that Romance language bucket. But looking at the word decide comes from the Latin root dicere, which means to cut, right? So the idea is I wish I had two pens here. So the idea is that if you choose something, I have a choice between the blue pen or the black pen, then I can choose one and merely put down the other. If I decide to use the blue pen, then it's taking the black one and throwing it. You cut it out. You cut out the other options. So when we say that the most important decision you make is to be in a good mood, the real question is, what will you cut? What gets eliminated? What thoughts, what ideas, what mindsets, what stuck thinking do you cut? This is not about choosing a happy mindset. It's about deciding what things you will cut in favor of what you will hold on to. It's a much more powerful piece than just a simple choice. You are deciding to be in a good mood. You are deciding to hold thoughts that serve you. You are not just choosing, you're deciding. So Voltaire has another brilliant quote. People are thrown into the world to suffer and to dominate their suffering. Not the most positive mindset. Stay with me. Life is a shipwreck, but we must not forget to sing in the lifeboats. Life is a desert, but we can transform our corner into a garden. So I'll bring this up. Life is a shipwreck, but we must not forget to sing in the lifeboats. Right? Life is a desert, but we can turn our corner into a garden. That's a powerful decision set. Yes, whether you see life as a shipwreck or not, the idea is don't forget to sing in the lifeboats, making the decision to be in a good mood. And this is not Pollyanna. This is not seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It's deciding what energy you want to hold. We're here in Colorado for July, and there's a woman named Chris Whittington who has a company called Be Good to People. See, URL, begoodtopeople.com. Brilliant story about this company, and if you go to begoodtopeople.com, you'll get a good flavor of who she is and the story behind this. Short version is she was in a parking lot, and this woman started screaming at her over a parking spot, and she's like, wow, how hard is it to be good to people? And decided to focus her efforts and her energy on not only deciding to be in a good mood herself, but to bringing that to the rest of the world. Their tagline is, it's so simple, it should be black and white. And it is. Be good to people. It's not hard. And that starts with being good to yourself. That starts with making the decision to be in a good mood. Thanks, Dorothy. I love this. That someone told her the first thought you have when you wake in the morning will set the tone for the day. And yeah, and you're an early riser, I know. So it sets early for you. So wow, if it's the first thought you have in the day and that sets the tone, the first thought you have when you wake up and that sets the tone for the day, well, then this idea becomes that much more important, right? This idea and I'll pull it up again. This idea of the most important decision you can make is to be in a good mood. Wow. So even beyond what you first thought in the morning, goodness, you have the power to decide. The greatest strength we have is the power to choose, in this case, decide on one thought over another. So obviously, I get excited about this one. The idea, I love the word decision and how much power there is in deciding, right? Thank you, Lisa. The idea of being able to decide to choose something, I mean, deciding to hold something that will serve instead of something that doesn't serve. Walking around cranky, upset, angry, that does nothing more than spread it. Deciding to be in a good mood, cutting out those thoughts that don't serve. So what would be different in your world if you decided to be in a good mood? How would your world be different? This is an opportunity, not just here in the comments, but also in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Mindset Mondays to have these conversations, to look at and hear from other folk what would be different for them when they spend more time deciding, taking an active role in setting the tone for their world. So what would be different for you in your world if you decided to be in a good mood? This is simple stuff. And that's what makes it powerful. The system or the tool that works best is the one that gets used. If it's overcomplicated, complicated and complex are different. If it's overcomplicated, unnecessarily complicated, then it doesn't get used. This one is bog simple. Most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. It's a decision you get to make over and over and over every day. I love that last piece. Life is a desert, but we can transform ours into a garden. It's like having an emotional or energetic green thumb. You walk through the world, and instead of seeing the desert, deciding to take action, deciding to reshape your corner of the world in a way that serves you and serves others and grows others. So how will you play with this idea? What will you bring to your week this week, starting with a Mindset Monday? What will you bring to your week? What decisions can you make and will you make this week? I'm having more and more conversations with clients and friends and colleagues about the idea of currencies. So many of us measure our world and measure our success with one currency, dollars, income, and a single currency evaluation is dangerous. What are other currencies? For me, energy, positivity, the chance to travel, chance to exercise, ride my bike. There are different currencies by which I measure how successful I am. The footprint of my impact, number of lives touched. So I have many currencies. If I measure my life and my success solely through one currency, income, that's a very hollow, shallow, difficult way to look at the world. And yet it becomes more and more common. That's where that scarcity thinking comes from. And this is a powerful reminder for me of that currency of positivity and energy, because the energy that you expend in a negative space is much more costly and has a longer tail, that cortisol impact. There is so much more energy available by being in that good mood, deciding and connecting with something that serves, and cutting, letting go of that which does not serve. So, coming to the end of the broadcast this week, what will you change now? What will you decide is different for you? What will you do different? What will you choose different? My son says, don't kill the adverb. What will you choose differently? How will you behave differently? What will you decide this week? I look forward to hearing more from you and what you plan to do differently. Come to facebook.com/group/Mindset Mondays. And if you will, not only join the conversation there, but spread the word across Facebook. Share this weekly broadcast and the opportunity for conversations with your friends and your colleagues. All of the back episodes, all the 22 previous episodes are on that Facebook group, and this one will be available in just a few minutes after we end the broadcast. Love to see you and your friends join in the conversation. So again, until next week, this is David Taylor Klaus, and this is Mindset Mondays with DTK. Thanks for joining, and until next week, what mindset will you choose?